right, we're live on YouTube in a delay. Hey, there are a couple people joining us on YouTube Live. How are you doing, Dan, Dmitry? We are about a minute away from starting the webinar. Thanks for joining us. We're just waiting for the last little few things to set up, and then we'll be going live and starting the webinar. Hold on 1 second, YouTube Live.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We got like about a minute to go live. We got Dan joining us today, and we'll be talking about earnings.
Actually, I'm going to, we can start the webinar. We've got a minute. We'll start it and make sure the sound everyone can hear. All right, we are starting the webinar now, everybody. It's got about 30 seconds before we really hit the meat. I want to say hello to everyone. Thanks to Dan Passarelli there joining us, who's an options god, a great help to the Chameleon community and to all options traders, stock traders, and investors in general. We have my man, Dmitry. Dmitry, what are you looking at right now? You trading after hours?
No, I'm trying to set up here from my, for some reason I can't to get onto YouTube. So if I see questions rolling by during that, I'll be able to answer, but I'm doing it on this.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us on Zoom, on YouTube Live. Put your questions in the chat on YouTube Live. I will try to get them in front of Dan and Dmitry. You can put them on the chat or in the Q&A on Zoom. I will start with a poll we put up. Let me launch that poll. It's going to ask you the question: do you think learning a new earning strategy can make you a more profitable trader? Yes, no, and what the hell is an earning strategy? Hopefully most of you are yes, but I don't know. We'll see. And Dan, before I let you get a breath of air, and let's do the disclaimer real quick. Just get that out of the way. What do you think, Dima?
Yeah, let's do that now.
All right.
And let me just see here. You're bringing that up. So before we start, everyone, keep in mind, Will and I, Dan, we're not registered investment advisors or broker dealers. We're not telling you what to do. We're just sharing ideas. If you need, advice from your broker, then, call your broker. They should be able to help answer those questions or give you guidance. So really quickly, there's the disclaimer.
Awesome. Dan, so 95% of the people polled so far do think a new earning strategy can make them more profitable. So with that, everyone, Dan Passarelli, here you go, Dan. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. And you guys are all in the right place. That's super exciting. Let's see. Let me get my screen shared here. Screen share. It's going to be there. All right. We see my PowerPoint, right?
Yep.
Looks good.
Looks good.
It says how earnings can be your most profitable trade. Okay, great. So, hey, I hope everybody's feeling great today. Thanks for joining me. Super excited to be here, right now. And today I'm going to share with you how you can replace uncertainty with confidence so you can profit consistently no matter what the stock market is doing, using my simple, data-driven, real money proven earnings trading strategy that literally takes about 3 minutes to trade. And this is what I do in all market conditions during earnings season. And with the election right now, unpredictable news and all these sudden market swings, it's been a tough go for a lot of traders. A lot of traders I've talked to lost money or looking for a way to make it back. And even the ones who have done okay and made money as the market rallied, a lot of them have fallen victim to, surprises, head fakes, misleading narratives that make it impossible to get the results they want. And you know what? That's not your fault. This is the best opportunity that I know of to reclaim that feeling of control, and I'm super excited to share it with you here today. Now, in 27 years, I've seldom seen such an unpredictable market. So this is my promise to you during this presentation. I'm going to share with you how you can replace uncertainty with confidence so you can profit consistently no matter what the market's doing, so you don't have to spend years trying to figure it out yourself to have the financial freedom you deserve. This technique uses my proprietary options trading system. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to share with you how you can take the next step and start getting immediate results. Fair deal, everybody? Give me a yes if that's a good deal for you. Yes, yes, yes.
Sounds good.
Lots of yeses, particularly from Dmitry and I. But everyone, give us a yes if you're up. If you have any no's, let us know why, please.
All right.
Everyone's
So,
a yes, Dan.
Everyone, 100%. That's what I like. All right. So look, this is a pictorial representation of some of the things that I've done throughout my trading career. You stick around doing anything for 27 years and you end up getting to do some pretty cool things. I get to be on TV a lot and kind of travel the world helping traders just like you. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Here's the thing. If you've traded earnings, I can help you do it better. Be more profitable with less risk, which is the key. And if you've not traded earnings in the past, then you're in the right place at the right time, because this can be your most profitable trade. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I do have it down to a simple 3-minute process. Now, we've had a few events in Chicago. This is a little picture we took from one of them. And we stopped in the Chicago Board of Trade building where I do some of my TV interviews. When you're watching traders on TV talking about the markets, we're there to share what we're watching, what we're trading, what's making money. And many traders simply make a living playing follow the leader. That's how I got my start, and that's how some of the best traders make their living and make a good living. You know, they don't try and reinvent the wheel. They follow the leader and do what works. Now, let's go back to some simpler days here. This is a pre-market crash chart of Goldman Sachs. During this period, Goldman was up 23% over this 12-month period. Now, I have a question for you. Would you be happy with a 23% return in a year? Give me a yes or give me a no. Which one is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me know where we're getting.
Yeses, I think. There a lot of yeses.
23% in a year, chameleons. Would you be happy with that? Let Dan know. We're getting quite a few yeses, Dan.
All right. Well, hey, man, you know what?
Oh, we get a no. Elton is sending us a no, Dan. Not really. From Pam. No, they want more.
Okay. I like the vibe here. I like what's going on. So, I mean, a lot of traders would be thrilled with that, right? But what if I told you there's a strategy that it doesn't matter if the market's going up or down, you can still make money, potentially really good money, and potentially more than 23% in a year. So here's the big news. Traders can do better than returns like these in all markets. And the real secret is you have to. All right. Interest rates are near zero. That's bad for banks, right? It's bad for money managers. This is Goldman Sachs, right? But do you know what saved these firms lately? Because they've done pretty good lately as well. They're trading units. So look here, Goldman has 36,600 employees with an average salary of $367,564 a year. And that includes all the interns that go out and get coffee, right? The traders make more than that, you know? So that's a total of $13.5 billion being paid out in salaries before bonuses, and traders trade for the bonuses. When I was a professional trader on the floor of the Chicago Board Options Exchange, my salary was this compared to my bonus. So in order for Goldman Sachs to make enough money to retain enough money for their stock to go up 23% a year, they have to make hundreds of percent a year. Interesting, right? These are the kind of trades professional traders make. That's why they make $300 or $400 grand a year before those gigantic bonuses. When I started on the trading floor, I started with a $30,000 trading account, right? Can you imagine that as a professional trader? And making trades like these, like a professional trader, weekly and monthly, they enabled me to turn that $30,000 into, well, let's just say a lot more than $30,000 and a whole lot more than 23% a year. This is what's possible. And that's what traders are doing, like literally every day. Now, there are a few advantages to earnings trades, and that's why I'm talking about it now. Not to mention that earnings season, we're right on the heels of it. They're market independent. We don't care about direction. We're not trying to guess if it's going to go up or down. They're very short term on each trade, limiting broad market exposure. They're potentially greatly leveraged trades. You can make 20, 30, 40, 50% overnight. There's an extremely simple yes, no screen test for these trades. The opportunities are concentrated in a really short period of time. And the best time to get started is, when's the best time to get started with learning a new strategy like this?
Yesterday.
Yesterday is a great answer. I love that answer. And I see, oh, I see where people are answering questions here in the chat. Yesterday, okay. Now, yesterday, I love it all. Yeah, so right. Now, the best advantage to these earnings trades are they work. You guys mind if I share a quick little story with you? This is a good one. You're gonna love it.
No, I love stories.
All right. So this is a few years ago now. The short version of the story, I found myself on the phone with one of the producers from Bloomberg Television, and he wanted me to like go down to the trading floor and be one of those guys, you know, where they interviewed down on the trading floor. Now, I'd never done this before. I was like, oh, okay, this sounds pretty cool, you know? So I was talking to the guy and I said, okay, you know, this is great. I was a little bit geeked out, you know, because it's the first time I'd ever done this. And so I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And he goes, here's what we're going to talk about. Tomorrow, Apple has earnings coming out, and we want you to share a trade idea on how to trade Apple earnings. Now, this was like, you know, like when they take the record and they scratch the needle across it and like the whole party stops dancing, you know, I was like, oh, no, really? Oh, because it's a funny thing. Most professional traders don't trade earnings. I bet a lot of you didn't know that. Some of them do, and some of them make a great living doing it. But there's many professional traders whose risk managers don't allow them to trade earnings. And I was in that camp. My risk manager, he insisted I was flat every single time earnings were coming out. And so I was like, oh man, this is something out of my comfort zone. I don't know, I might have to turn down this interview. So I go, okay, hold on one second. I'll call you right back. So I immediately go to my computer and I start looking at Apple and I'm like, how can I make a good earnings trade? Because, you know, I always put my money where my mouth is. If I'm going to talk about a trade on TV, I'm going to have that trade on in my account. So I look and I'm like, well, you can't buy call. I don't know if it's going up or down, you know, like nobody does. You can't predict earnings like that. You know, you don't want to do a credit spread, disproportionate losses. You don't want to sell puts. That'd be like, you could get annihilated. And then I looked at a time spread, which we'll talk about in a moment. And I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing setup. Like I've got this amazing statistical advantage. This is a great trade. And you know, forget the TV thing. Like I put the trade on immediately and then I was like, oh, I got to call the guy back and talk to him, told the story the next day, you know, in my first interview, made money on the trade and the rest was kind of history. So I started studying earnings a lot more, and I found out that I'm not the only person who's done this. I've got some data to back up everything I'm talking about here. So there's two different strategies that I'm going to share with you: time spreads and straddles. But 95% of them, and 95% of what we talk about, is going to be time spreads. When the right criteria are met, these can be perfect trades. A time spread is when I buy a longer term option, then I sell a shorter term option with the same strike price, both calls or both puts. Like I said, the data shows that this normally works when certain criteria are met. And then straddles work about 5% of the time. But this presentation, I want to make sure I'm giving you like tons of useful information. So we're going to stick to your most useful strategy. So there's a lot of data here. Okay, don't get too hung up. For now, here's what's important. Look here. Here's what this slide shows. If you sell short-term options the day before an earnings announcement, they lose their value greatly once earnings are announced the next trading session. Now look here. The longer-term options also lose value once earnings are announced, but they don't lose as much. So what that means is that if we trade time spreads, we have a statistical advantage when certain criteria are met. So these are basically the steps of my proprietary system. We're going to find earnings time spreads using the yes/no screen technique. the yes, no screens technique, we use that to see if we should continue on with the potential trade. This is your first step, and this will make your life so much better. Not to mention, it'll ensure you're only making the best earnings trades. So then your win rate increases and your losers decrease. All right. So we only continue with these trades when there's a positive term structure of volatility. I know some of you are taking notes. If you're taking notes, write that down. Positive term structure of volatility. And the greater the disparity in term structure, the better. This step is totally critical. This is what I did on the trading floor every single day and then put it into this earning system to simplify for you or for our traders. Next, we run the is-was check by modeling the spread on tomorrow's days with a variant vol crush on both the short-term and the long-term option based on a partial reversion to the mean, but also relative to realized volatility, which is super important. And then we compare that to the past moves to get the modeled endurable gap. Okay, that's another one to write down, modeled endurable gap. All right. The modeled endurable gap is just my way of making this completely foolproof and black and white. So it's super easy for you. Once you have that, you'll know exactly which trades to put on and which ones to stay away from, and it's easy. Now, this is where Market Chameleon comes in. So our earnings class is by far the most profitable class for our students to date. And we have students actually post their trades live in our chat room. You'll all have the opportunity to see that and participate in that for free later. I used to teach this class, okay? I used to teach this class literally using a calculator and a chart, and it would take me a while. You know, it'd take me a while to calculate all these modeled endurable gaps, which are simple to calculate, but you know, it's arithmetic and it took some time. And so I was super grateful when I came across Will and Dmitry and learned about Market Chameleon. The system is so much easier now. Oh my God. Like this is literally like how we're able to take the analysis of this entire system down to 3 minutes. And you'll get to the opportunity to see how that works in just a second. In fact,
well, Dan, just to not to interrupt, but just to mention, I mean, prior to that, someone who's got a full-time gig doing something else,
yeah,
you know, if you're trying to do a calculator and look at these trades, I mean, they're, you know, during earnings season, there can be hundreds of earnings a day. I mean, the fact that you have your technique and now have Market Chameleon maybe means that people who are doing other things can also get involved in these type of trades by really being able to look through the data. Is that correct?
I know, you know, because like, that's one of the things, like some people are like, oh, you know, I don't want to learn a new system. You know, it's going to be too time consuming. And like, you know, taking this system, like these simple steps and then using the Chameleon, like you can literally analyze one of these trades and execute it in 3 minutes. I've timed myself before. So yeah, it's like, it's a really great combo.
Cool.
Yeah. So now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to find the earnings time spread using the, oh, okay, we went over this. Okay, so now look, here's where most people go wrong. We put on the time spread immediately before earnings, okay? The session immediately before earnings. So this, and take it off immediately following. So this is less than a 24-hour trade, and that is critical. That's another thing to write down. This is less than a 24-hour trade. The shortest trade that we teach. We follow the MTM proprietary earnings trading technique that I just showed you, and then exit at the precise time the following day. And again, everybody screws this up, but I'll show you how you can get the timing right later. And then like, look, then it's easy. We just rinse, wash, repeat over and over again through earnings season. So I want to go through an example. This is an earnings trade that I made. Oh, this is a couple earnings seasons ago in McDonald's, right? So, and I'm going to show you exactly how this works right now. So this is a time spread. Okay. I put this one on the day before earnings by selling 10 of the McDonald's 4-day 165 strike calls at $1.75. All right. And then at the same time, as part of a spread, I bought to open 10 of the 11-day to expiration 165 calls at $2.11. So I traded the spread. I bought it at 36 cents last hour of the trading day. And then the next day at the exact right time, I simply closed it. This one I sold because I bought the longer term, sold the shorter term. And this one, excuse me, this one I bought because I bought the longer term, sold the shorter term. And this one I sold because I'm selling that longer term. Now it's 10-day because 1 day passed. And I bought the 3-day because it used to be 4 days, 1 day passed. Bought it at 36, sold it at 52, made 16 cents on a 36-cent trade. That's 44%. And just to make this a little bit more tangible, this was a 10 lot, risked $360, and my overnight profit was $160. Now, in reality, managing the bid-ask spread on closing the trade is where most people go wrong, right? I'm showing you this, like these were the actual like buying the offer, selling the bid, which I have a strategy to middle the market and do better. In reality, if I would have used our proprietary middling system on this, I would have got about 20 cents better, which would have ended up in this case being 100% profit. But I just wanted to show you in pure black and white, like this is what's possible in an unarguable sense, but this trade could have been better. So I want to make this very realistic and share with you exactly how this works in real life when you middle the market with the MTM 25-20 middling technique. So this is Oxy, right? Actual entry prices the day before earnings, buying 20 of the February 22nd 66 calls at $1.49 and selling 20 of the Feb 15 66 calls at $1.31. That's an 18-cent trade. Now, if you look here though, so buying the 66 strike calls, they were offered at $1.50, but I didn't pay $1.50. I paid $1.49. I paid less. And here they were bid at $1.30, but I didn't sell it at $1.30. I sold it higher. So I'm actually doing better than a typical person by using this technique. So the next day, again, we take it off at the exact time. I put in an offer to sell at 30 cents and I got filled on 2 of them, 2 out of the 20, and it started moving against me. So I just followed the simple management plan, closed the balance at 27 cents. That averages out to a 51.7% profit minus commissions in 1 day. Do all trades work out exactly this great? No, some of them don't work out, and that's why the management plan is very important. Management makes money. So this one was an MGM. Bought 30 the day before earnings at 20 cents. The next day, it got a little bit away from me. And in fact, it got a fair amount away from me, but because I followed the management plan, I was able to sell that at 20 cents, had a 5% loss in 1 day. Las Vegas Sands, bought it at 50, sold it at 70 the next day. Like, you know, like there's literally hundreds of these trades throughout earnings season.
Dan, just a question. We're getting people asking if they're on your chat, are you talking about these trades during the day on your chat in your room?
Oh yeah, we trade. I mean, well, there's 1 hour where we do a webinar. I'm going to tell you guys all about this in a minute. We do a webinar for a week, 1 hour live, and you watch me trade real money. But we're trading all day long in the chat room. Like there's a whole group of some of our best traders, you know, and some of the best traders you'll ever meet, sharing these trade ideas live every day. So that's I can't wait to share with you how you'll be able to do that for free, actually. So how do you drive consistent profits? I said it before, management makes money. Entering the trade's easy. You know, you just simply follow the checklist. Closing the trade is where some people go wrong. A couple tips, close the next session, but it does require some nuance and it requires some rules. But that's why we have a system. Work the system and the system works. Okay, so let's talk about realistic expectations here, right? Like I just shared with you some trades that, you know, like I think most people would think these are pretty darn good trades. How often can you find results like this? Literally all throughout earnings season, there are hundreds of opportunities to analyze. Are these returns common? Yes, we can yield highly leveraged returns. And I literally showed you screenshots of actual trades that I actually made. What if the trade doesn't work out? And some of them won't, you know, some of them are not going to work out, but risk is limited, more importantly, manageable, and can be a small fraction of potential gains. So this is all just part of a winning mindset. So let me share with you how to make this work. It's a simple process anybody can follow, but it's essential to be prepared for earnings season, which is going to start in just like 2 weeks. Okay. You can literally make the next 6 months your best of this year and repeat that success in future earnings season throughout your trading career. And earnings season is right here. Let's talk about time. Your time's valuable. First of all, do you really have years to play around figuring it out for yourself? Or, you know, like how many months or years have you spent so far? Like when do you just want somebody to show you how to do this? Your time every day is valuable too. I talk to people who've tried to play around and figure this out for themselves. They spend an hour or so looking at their screen and they basically make a trade and kind of hope it works out. Where there's hope, there's losses. All right. Like this is following a very simple process that literally takes 3 minutes a day. So now I want to introduce to you the Total Earnings Domination All Access Package. This is my system so you can trade consistently and confidently, have peace of mind with a simple, data-driven, low-risk technique, and start using it right now. In this course, this is just some of what you're going to learn: how to easily scan the market for earnings trades, where to get the data, the best time of day to enter and exit, which is the most important part of this, the yes/no screen technique, calculating the is/was gaps, and especially management makes money. So now you have a new opportunity to trade more consistently using a strategy that works in all market conditions. It's a blueprint for earnings trading, and you're actually going to literally watch me set these up live in real time. And you can make your next 6 months your top performing yet. And plus, you know, if you are one of these folks who had a rough go at it lately, you can hedge or make back some of the losses on trades that you've lost on or are already in play. So this is our Total Earnings Domination 6-month all access premium package. I'm going to make this super easy for you. First of all, let me share with you what you're going to get in this class. Okay, so first, you're going to get the brain dump part of the training, Secrets to Trading Earnings Bootcamp. I'm going to put 27 years of experience into your head with one video. It's the keys to the kingdom. That's a $2,995 value. And why is it $2,995? Because if you can make the kind of money we're talking about consistently on daily trades throughout earnings season, like this one small investment can pay profits over and over again that can literally last a lifetime. And as you can see, there's no auto renewal on any of this. Now, I sign up for a lot of online classes like this also. So, and I do it so I can learn how to build these classes for you to ramp up your learning fast, you know, not market classes, but classes on how to build great classes for you. So I know no matter how great a video class is, you're going to have questions. I have questions. I want somebody to show me just exactly what to do. So today you're going to get the hands-on training right here with 5 live group coaching sessions where I literally trade my real money, real time, and you're going to make your first trade with me as a group. This is the ultimate hands-on training. We want you to literally have this mastered, so we're going to give you our 4-part master class, and then you're going to have questions. We're going to give you our chat room, and our chat room is the best part of this. Now, this all access premium class is valued at $7,437. Right now, for the first 25 people who subscribe right now, I'm going to give you 93% off, and it's going to be just $497. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What?
Yeah, I know.
93% off, Dan.
I know, but you know what? I do this because I want to grow our community. Like all of you who are joining us right now at markettaker.com/CHAM, short for Chameleon, you're going to be in our chat room among our top traders, and you're going to have that opportunity to become one of those leaders within our community. And that's why we have to limit it to 25 people. I mean, honestly, if all you get out of this is being in the chat room with these other traders, wouldn't that be worth it to you for this, right? But you're going to get all this. You're going to get the boot camp. You're going to get the 5 live hands-on training sessions, and you're going to get the master class if you're one of the first 25 people. And let's see if we've got anybody yet. I know it always takes everybody a little bit of time to fill it out. I'll let you fill out the form. But there's a couple other things. I want to make sure that this works for everybody. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses. The first bonus is our options impact video course. So this is our extra special bonus, not on the slide. I want to make sure this works for everybody. So this is our Kickstarter series that includes 8 on-demand video sessions to put you on the fast track for max gains. This is our basic level videos. If you've never even traded an option before, you're going to watch these videos first, watch the options impact videos first. It's a $497 value. I'm giving that to you today so that I can level the playing field, and you have no excuse. Even if you've never traded an option before, I'm going to make this work for you. Now, this is the big one. I'm going to give you 6 months access to the course that every one of our top traders went through. This is the MTM Trade Smart Workshop online education series. I personally teach this class, goes way beyond the basic. This is for the super advanced people. Each month we pick a different 4-part topic to drill down, and I give you expert understanding of it so you can like achieve mastery as an option trader. For example, this month's series is mastering time spreads. We've done trading option Greeks, which is the same title as my book. All right, so I'm sharing my expertise on that. Profit driving volatility strategies, all of the things you'll need to make this class work for you and to become an expert on it. These classes are all at 3:30 Central Time, that's 4:30 Eastern. It goes about an hour and 15 minutes every Thursday afternoon. This is the class that all of our top traders have gone through, and today you're going to get this as a bonus. That's an $1,800 value that comes with this class. That was not on my slide. You're getting that today when you go to markettaker.com/CHAM. Okay, look, this earnings cycle is one of the most important probably in the history of the market, realistically, right? Analysts are waiting to see right now what the earnings are to give guidance for the future, and that means traders can make more money than they ever have before. This process is starting literally in 2 weeks. Those of you who enroll today will have enough time to get through the brain dump training, to get through the options impact videos if you're new, to get through some of the archived recordings of the Trade Smart Workshop, to be ready for this. This is your hands-on training. This is where it all comes together. You've got to get through those videos by October 26th, so you're ready to make your first earnings trade as a group with me. On Monday, October 26th, 3 to 4 Eastern time, you're going to watch me trade live my real money in an account with less than $10,000. Right? So anybody can do this, no matter what your account size is, no matter how much experience you have, every single day for a week. And plus, if you join right now, you're going to have access to all this for 6 months. You're also going to get the 5 live hands-on training sessions that I do in January also. A couple more things, guys, and then we can do some Q&A. Sound great?
Sounds good.
Okay. So my top picks of the day, and this is the most important week of earnings season, so I need everyone to be prepared for that. 100% totally live sessions. They're all recorded. If you can't make it live, that's okay. Some people just watch the recordings, but I really want you to make it live because my guarantee to you, I will personally trade a less than $10,000 account of mine in these live sessions to literally prove that anybody can do it. So right now is go time. Go to markettaker.com/CHAM, C-H-A-M. So this is Jill. She joined just last quarter. Last quarter, we shared our earnings trading system with people. Jill joined this class. I believe this was her first trade, if I'm not mistaken. Microsoft calendar spread, bought at $2.65, sold less than 24 hours later at $3.75 for a 41.5% profit. She typed this in the chat room. You can scroll back 3 months ago and you can literally see her trade. Dave Z, again, same thing. He says, closed the last 5 at $1.41 total gain for $425 less commission. The class has paid for itself. Thanks, Dan. And that was literally in the first week of the class during the live hands-on sessions where we all trade together. Russell said, I'm at above an 80% win rate. Most of the others were maybe 5% loss, only 1 total loss out of 16 trades. Like you said, middling's really important, waiting for the bid ask to normalize, just waiting that hour. because I kind of helped him out and told him the exact right time to put these trades on. And this is my favorite one. In fact, a student just emailed me out of the blue. He says, I took Dan's MTM course about 7 years ago in college. It was my first exposure to a structured options trading strategy. He started me down the path that I'm on today, and now I'm a professional options trader. So look, no matter what your experience level is, I'm going to take you to that next level so that you can get, the financial freedom, frankly, that you seek. So again, I limit this to the first 25 people, and I can see we've had some people join us. I see Jane joined us, Hemant joined us, Ronaldo joined us. Awesome. Great job investing in yourself. That's how you take things forward. Make it happen for yourself. I'm going to be the guide. I'm going to share the system with you, but I'm going to empower you to do this. So this is limited to the first 25 people. I'm going to take questions in a minute, but I do sometimes get some frequently asked questions. Is this live or recorded? Both. You can attend the live earnings trade classes, of course, but much of this is recorded. And some people have busy schedules like Will and I were talking about earlier. And if you do, you don't have to watch these things live. You can watch the recordings. How long do I have access? 6 full months. So even if you feel like, oh, geez, it takes me a while to absorb information, you've got the time, but I want you to start now so you're ready for those live training sessions. Is it time consuming? No. What is time consuming is playing around, trying to figure it out for yourself and missing the most important earnings season in probably the history of the entire stock market. Like trying to figure it out on yourself and missing opportunities, that's time consuming and that's frustrating and that's missing profits. This will spend you time so you can spend your time doing the things you like to do. How do I know I'll be able to do it? This is where the hands-on training comes, and even the people who are the most basic are going to get the options impact videos. I've made it, I've given every single thing I can, thought through everything to make sure that anybody from any account size, any background, any deep desire can make this happen. Now, the number one question I get is there a limit on the number of students that can join? And yes, there is. And that's for a reason. We have to limit the number allowed into the live component of this package, or else it gets out of hand with questions. I want to give each of you my full attention, and it's very interactive, like I'm there, like it's almost like one-on-one attention. So I have to limit it. And you know what? The other reason I limit it, because people who can't make decisions for themselves, you have to ask your mom every time, you want to make a trade or invest $500, don't end up being good traders, right? So I need to find the most decisive people, and so I limit it. And if you're not one of the first 25 people, then, maybe you're not ready yet and you might have to wait, and that's totally fine. But I'm looking for people who are going to grow our community, who are going to be the leaders in it, who are going to be the big dogs, who are posting all these trades like the ones that I just shared with you. Okay, so let's take some questions, shall we, guys?
Sure. We got a bunch of them. First one is about your chat. This is from Rajesh, who's on quite a bit on our morning show. What form of chat room do you use? Do you use Discord? He's asking.
We actually use Slack, which is really great, really easy to use. You can literally share screenshots, which is great because all our traders just help each other all day long. They're saying, hey, look at this chart, look at this volatility setup. Here's these model and durable gaps. They take a picture of the Market Chameleon screen, and they're like, here, look at this here, look at this there. Yeah, it's Slack and it's great.
All right. Mark Mueller, and these are option questions, may not revolve around your strategy, but you are a man who's been in the business for a long time. He's asking, how do you determine if you use puts or calls when you're looking at your positioning, and what do you use to protect against big moves if you have, say, a time spread on?
Yeah, it's very important to get that right. So sometimes you're going to use puts, sometimes you're going to use calls. You're always going to use the out of the money because the out of the monies tend to have the tightest markets. Now that's not always the case, but I'm just kind of simplifying right now. You'll learn more in the class, but like if the stock is at, say, like 51 and a half or 51 and a quarter, and you have the 50 strike or the 52 strike. You're always going to go that closer strike. And so you're going to use puts because the strike is below the stock price. If the stock's at like 50 and 75 cents, or excuse me, $51.75, you'd use the 52 strike because it's close, and therefore you'd use calls. Now we do sometimes use double calendars. Like there's a little bit of nuance to it. And, you know, I mean, frankly, that's why we put it in an 1.5-hour boot camp video and give you the masterclass and all that. So you know exactly what to do. But, you know, but yeah.
Well, this is, I mean, because there's some interesting questions. We did have one question. You might as well answer it. It's, you know, for anyone who's education, I'm sure you get this, Dan, but someone's asking, why should I spend my money when if this was so easy, you know, you, Dan, could be on a sunny beach and continuously make money if you're so good at it. So I guess just let them know why you're educating when, you know, these things exist out there.
That is my favorite question. You know, like my whole thing was always those who can do, those who can't teach, right? And by the way, I have traded from sunny beaches. Don't always, because, you know, I don't live on a sunny beach, but I have done it, and I will do it again in the future.
Well, Chicago's got a nice coastline.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it does have some nice beaches.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of prefer, you know, Kauai or something like that, but yeah, Chicago's the beach is not bad.
That's true.
So here's the story. So in 2005, the exchange, a friend of mine who worked for the exchange teaching people left, and the exchange, long story short, the exchange asked me to come and teach classes. And that is exactly what I said in my mind. Those who can do, those who can't teach, I'm not doing it. My friend told me, hey, look, just give it a try. And I said, all right, you know what? That's fine. I'll give it a shot for a little bit. They flew me all over the world teaching classes, and I did it for a couple of months. And then one day I was walking, like this is a hand to God true story. I walked out of the exchange, I was walking down the street, and somebody literally stopped me on the street and said, hey, are you Dan Passarelli? And I said, yeah, I'm Dan Passarelli. And he goes, I have watched your webinars that you do with the exchange, and I just want to say thank you. You've helped me so much. I was never able to make money before, and you just shared with me these really simple things, and now I'm a profitable trader, and I just wanted to say thanks. And that day changed my life. That day, like when I was a market maker down on the trading floor making a whole bunch of money, nobody ever walked up to me and said thank you, right? Like people don't like market makers, but this I realized was my way to give back to the trading community. And do I still trade? I still trade, and you're going to watch me trade my real money, and you're going to be part of it, and we're going to trade together. So yeah, that's what gets me going, is knowing that I can help other people and I can give back to a trading community that frankly gave me a pretty good life.
Yeah, just so you know, we have Mike H, and I know Mike's on the morning show quite a bit.
Oh.
And so he's not, you didn't pay him to type this into the YouTube chat. Just for everyone who knows, Mike H says, I joined last quarter. I didn't know this was the same webinar, but I signed up for everything offered. LOL. Anyways, the program was totally worth it, and Dan is great at bringing things home. So there you go for all you doubters out there. Dan, Mike Chandler is another awesome chameleon. Is asking, would a straddle strangle swap work better than a calendar considering the volatility collapse?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we do strangle swaps, especially when the stock is between two strike prices. I mean, straddle swaps, I mean, basically that is synthetically speaking, that is a time spread. So you can save commissions, and you don't have to trade as many options, and you can make it less complicated just simply by doing a time spread, because synthetically speaking, a call calendar is the exact same as a put calendar, except for assignment, which is why we always do the closest to the money. And again, that's another thing that I share in the class, kind of an important nuance. But yeah, I love the way you're thinking. You're totally right on track, right on the money. I love it.
Yeah, well, Mike's one of our best. He then goes on to ask, will this work on high flyer earnings events or just modest movers?
So that's very interesting. It will work on high flyers. The ultra super high flyers, something like Tesla, I pull back a little bit, but there's literally like 5 stocks that I just take a little bit of caution with. There's going to be like 4,500 stocks announcing earnings, over the next month, and you're going to have at least, 4,495 opportunities. So yeah, it basically works on pretty much everything. So yeah, and thanks new folks who joined markettaker.com/CHAM.
All right. Mark asked, do you always use at the money calendars?
Yeah, we always use the closest. Well, there's a little bit of nuance again explained in the class, but generally speaking, the answer is we almost always use the closest to the money at the beginning of earnings season. There's one little study that I'm going to share with you that I think you're going to find pretty interesting. But yeah, we almost always use the closest to the money, because you know what? Nobody, in my opinion, like I've been doing this 27 years, I've never met anybody who can predict the direction on earnings with any success. Even the best analysts who make $1 million a year don't. This makes it so that you don't have to guess at anything. You're just using a statistical advantage and using what we call a volatility collapse. And again, there's certain criteria that have to be met. You can't just do this on anything, but when they do, you don't even have to do any guesswork. You don't have to pick direction at all, and you can have a really highly leveraged profit.
Cool. The next question's actually for Dima and Dan. Dmitry, I don't know if you can bring up the calendar. People are saying earnings are starting to kick off the week of the 11th, maybe with the banks. I don't know if you could look at one of the bank earnings, what the Chameleon is showing. Someone's asking probably who's on in the mornings and wants to get your insight. Maybe Dan, if Dmitry shares his screen, and because there are no more direct questions for you, Dan.
Okay.
Let me see. Should I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen. Maybe go to the calendar. Maybe go out to the 11th. The earnings are starting.
Let me see.
Let's hope you can share your screen. While Dee's doing that, we did have another person. This is actually on the.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry, D. Go ahead.
Yeah, the easiest way, I'm just going to go look at the upcoming earnings in here. And these are just in the next 2 weeks. So these are all the upcoming earnings in the next 2 weeks. But we could do, what I'm going to do is filter out by option contracts. So, things that maybe trade on average at least 5,000 contracts or more on an average day. So we see here, so this is CCL. What is that? Carnival? Let me see. Mm-hmm. So that's Carnival, JP Morgan coming out, Johnson & Johnson, October 13th, Citigroup, October 13th. So we get, a lot of banks coming out, Wells Fargo, USB, Bank of America, UNH, that's healthcare, that's right, United Healthcare Group. So all these are coming up. What's AA? Is that Alcoa?
That is Alcoa, yep.
Yep.
Well, let's pick one of the banks. Could you just walk us through a time spread? I don't know.
Like what a time spread would look like, you mean?
Yeah. Just go to the options chain and walk us through a time spread. And while he's doing that, while he's setting that up, Horizon, who's on the Zoom, said, I am currently Dan's student and can attest that Dan is meticulous and articulates impeccably. He answers everyone's questions. Even if the class goes longer, he makes sure that everyone gets their questions answered. He genuinely cares about every student. So there you go, Dan. Some people shouting out love to you, which is always nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So looking at it, I'm just going to set up what a time spread looks like. But here now, I'm going to go here October 16th. That's the next expiration. That's when October 13th is going to be the earnings. Now, keep in mind, what Dan is talking about is doing it the day before earnings. Obviously, we got, we're not there yet. We're a little bit far away from that. So we don't know what right now. The options chain doesn't reflect prices the day before earnings. It just reflects today's closing prices, which we're still far away because October 13th. But a time spread would be something like, here the stock's $99. So if we just did a call spread right at the money, $99 strike. So, say you're buying this call. So this would be buying a call on the 99 October 16th expiration. the 99 call. And then you would go out a little bit further. I don't know, Dan, what would you say, October 23rd, October 30th? Just for,
yeah, I mean,
as a demonstration.
yeah, I mean, just for demonstration, be the 23rd. I mean, there's a little bit of nuance to it, but yeah.
Okay. Or I mean, I could do October. Let's do October 30th. Probably more distance between them. So I would be selling the October 30th expiration, the 99 strike, same strike. So here's the strategy: buying the October 16th 99 call for $2.69, selling the October 30th call, October 30th expiration 99 call, $3.65. Let's load that strategy. So here's what it looks like. It's a 96-cent credit. Here's what Dan was talking about, middling the market. So here we see that the spread is 96-cent bid, $1.18 offer, midpoint 107. And that's pretty important, right, Dan? The closer you are to that midpoint, that's something you teach. And like, just keep in mind, everybody, like when Dan was showing you, I forget what it was exactly, like from 30, you bought it at 30 cents, sold it at 40 cents or whatever it is. Percentage wise, it's very big. So even when we're talking about the midpoint 107 from 96 cents, right? That's already what's that, 11 cents, 11%. I mean, that's a huge percentage difference in your that's something you teach. But this is what it looks like at expiration if implied volatility stayed the same. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, we'd get into it the other way though. We'd buy the one and sell the other one, but this would be the closing.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just reverse it. So I'm gonna right. You're selling the near term and buying the outer term.
Yeah.
Let's load that up. So here you would be paying $1.18, right? Because that's on the bid and offer, midpoint 107. So still keep in mind that's 11 cents. Like 10%, 10% away. It's very important. A lot professional traders always look at that. Beginners, they don't know everything to look at. That's why education is important. Like people say, why, a lot of people in our industry, that's what they do. They, they help out people in the industry. Like a lot of people don't realize market makers, we're actually facilitating orders. So this is very natural to us that we weren't actually just trading. We were actually facilitating orders and dealing with customers. That was our role on the exchanges. So we were never like actually like sitting behind trading. We were always servicing customers. That was our role as members of the exchange. But when you're looking at this is one of the things he was talking about, the middling the market. This is what it looks like at expiration. If this first option expires, and then you're going to have some value left. Now, Dan was talking about differently, not at expiration, but the day after, taking it off the next day after earnings. So it would look something like this, right? When is earnings? The 13th. So what would this look like October 14th, right? So this blue line here, this is what it would look like October 14th. That's where your profit and loss is. And let's assume, and we have the data for this, but let's just assume that the implied vols are in, you'll have, let's just say 225 each one, right? And we could look up that data, but let's say the implied volatilities are down to 25. You go to October 14th. So there you could see kind of where your profit and loss would be the day after.
And you mind if I jump back in?
Sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like Dmitry made some extremely important points here. The first one was that midpoint. What stock was this again, by the way?
This one was JP Morgan.
JP Morgan. Yeah. This one, well, earnings is not for a bit yet. So like, obviously Dmitry is just showing this as an example, just as a example, right. So this one would not have met our criteria, just to make sure everybody's aware of that. So you're not going out and trading this tomorrow.
Yeah. Again, these are not recommendations. We were just walking through a example of how you could set up a trade if you wanted to look at how the trade would look on today's closing prices, basically.
Yep.
Right. Right. And this, right. Exactly. This is not what you would do because it's way too early anyway. You would be setting it up the day before the announcement.
Yeah. And Dan, I mean, we constantly have people who are asking for ideas. And Dan, it sounds like we'll give you ideas. Dmitry and I don't give ideas. What we do is we walk you through Market Chameleon and how the data and research tool works. If you join Diane's class, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, you'll be, people will be seeing you trade. So if they want to do that trade, they're more than they are more than welcome to piggyback your trade. Is that correct? Or
yeah, I mean, because look, like the first time anybody does anything, like, and this is true for anybody in the entire world, the first time you do anything that you've never done before, like, you don't feel super comfortable with it, So that's why we do it in those 5 live sessions together. And you literally watch me do it. And the first session, I go super slow so everybody can, okay, click this button here. This is what you do. Like, I make it so it's impossible to screw up, and just make you feel really comfortable making your first trade together.
Very cool. Well, listen, we're getting questions. Anyone who wants to see, people are asking, where can they see this webinar again? It is on the Market Chameleon YouTube channel. For those people who are on YouTube, make sure you register. I will put the link. Actually, the question came from the people on Zoom. I'll put the link into Zoom to register. But basically, go to MarketChameleon.com on YouTube, and we have a channel, and the video will be there after the show. I think we may have one more question. No more questions for Dan. Dima, Dan, anything parting before we go?
No, I mean, thank you for joining us. There was a good presentation. When you're looking at the thing with time spread is it's also the way Dan's doing it. You do have defined risk. It's not, a lot of people get into, like, they'll start selling calls, selling puts, and you could get, that's non-defined. You sell a put and that stock does, an outlier move. You're really stuck with explosive losses. Here, the way, that Dan's setting it up, your risk is defined ahead of time. So, kind of like going into that trade, what your risk is, depend what you're paying for it, but at least it's defined.
Yeah, and I, by the way, just put that link in chat. I don't know if you did it earlier, Will, or not, but you can, I don't know if you can click on it, but you can certainly copy and paste it in your browser, make it nice and easy for you. MarketTicker.com/cam, because I saw that somebody was asking how to join.
Yep, I did put it in the chat, and I will also put it on YouTube chat. Thanks for reminding me. Everyone on YouTube chat, if you want to sign up for Dan's incredible deal, MarketTaker.com/chameleon. It is now in YouTube chat forever, Dan. It will be there forever.
Awesome.
In that YouTube chat.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Will,
it's a great show. I'm sorry we have to go. We've been on for an hour. Dan, you get one last word with all the chameleons out there. One last thing to say to them before we go.
Hey, the best thing to say is, hey, thank you all for attending. Whether you stepped up and invested in yourself today with this course, first of all, if you did, you're going to love it. If you're not ready yet, I totally understand, but welcome to all the new folks. You guys are going to be in the chat room tomorrow, and you're going to be learning all this great stuff. I'm super excited for you, but I just want to thank everybody on this webinar. Thanks for sharing your time with me.
Hey, Dan, awesome. Dmitry, thanks so much. Listen, Dmitry and I do a morning show every morning, 9. Dan, you're more than welcome to join anytime, 9 a.m. We do it every day. It's awesome. Thanks, chameleons. Make sure check out Dan, his site, sign up. Great show, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.